Well, hello YouTube, how you going? Look, I'm going to be doing a combination of reviews on different things. This is basically a review a bit on my camera in combination with some stuff that I'm going to be doing, hopefully doing in up and coming videos. If I'm feeling inspired and I'm feeling motivated, sure, I'm going to do them. If I don't feel inspired and motivated, I may not necessarily do them. But you never know, I'm in the mood. Lately I've been in the mood to do a lot of things, so I've been a little more motivated in the sense of my mind being a little more clearer with a lot of things in my life, so... Camera review. I'm going to be doing some photography stuff, which I might mix it in. To be honest, I want to do a bit of photography. I might sort of muck around with this camera a bit more and do a few more. I have been doing a bit of photography, personal photography, also birds, you know, nature, general nature stuff and things of that nature, things along those lines. What else? I would also like to do a video with this specifically, which is how to put a controller. I've got the guts of a controller in there. How to pull apart a controller, Xbox controller, and put it back together. How to put new shells on Xbox controllers and the guts and everything of that nature. I've got the guts there at the moment in my wardrobe. I've got two sets of guts, which I just need to buy external cases. Xbox cases for them pretty much off eBay, but just I'm not going to bother yet, I'll do it later. But pretty much I was hoping to do something along those lines. Maybe get you guys to get involved in a build that I'm going to do, but then I don't know, I haven't got much builds at the moment because I haven't been to the place that I normally go to, Carry Computers, normally just to, you know, basically get things together for anything then to build. I mean, I've got parts here for a build, but it's more I'd have to get a motherboard, a few other things, and yeah, I haven't got a lot of the parts I normally have. I mean, I can get parts, but I mean, at the same time, my builds haven't been selling as fast as usual, so been out about even keel. But I mean, business has been business, so you get your slow times and your fast times, so it depends on the person. As I said, some photography. Definitely going to get some stuff of me doing and building machines and things of that nature. I want to do it, but it's just finding the inspiration sometimes in some situations. So it's going to depend on me, really, I guess, at the end of it. What else? Let me think. Well, I've been doing interesting combinations of things with different sorts of videos, like some of my crazy stuff and stuff I used to do previously on my channels and my personal blog stuff anyway. I mean, I normally have I don't know, I might make it a thing to have my sit down, have a beer time and just have a rant about random shit, to be honest. Because, you know, I'm going to have those moments, to be honest, because I don't mind ranting about random shit. I'm also going to be doing some more technical stuff. I don't know, see, I did sort of start pulling some old Xboxes apart, but didn't quite succeed in getting them back together. I mean, I probably could have got them back together, but I didn't see the point. The parts were just there, and they were just sitting around taking up space. So it's just irrelevant to me. So I've just preferred to leave it off to itself and just get everything to do its own way. What else? I've been doing that combination of... I've been doing that combination of things. I've also been doing other stuff as well. The other type of stuff that I was basically going for was... so we've got pulling apart controllers, building computers, some... I don't know. I'll try to provide some tutorial stuff. I'll also go over internet security, or my concerns of internet security, and what I believe, you know, the way I believe internet security is going, and what you should be cautious of, things you should look out for, things you should be wary of in modern day society that most people don't think about offhand. And I mean, to be honest, I'm probably that little bit paranoid about most things in my life that I'm probably going to think of them more than most people. I'll go over security concerns, how to avoid scam artists. In contrary to that, also as avoiding with scam artists, avoiding skimmers on machines. Will just keeping an eye out for these type of things. Also avoiding just being wary. Just wary and being observant, focused on what you're doing, and seeing exactly what's going on in your life, and also being mindful of what's around you, what people are around you, and what's going on. You don't have to be totally focused all the time. You can have your moments where you're going to be defocused and you're not going to fully be paying attention to something. But as they say, the devil's in the details a lot of the times with most things in life. So the best thing you can do in life is just pay a bit of attention to things, and you'd be surprised how well it can work out for you in the end to be able to pay attention and recall details. If you get something stolen, or if you get something broken, you get a house broken into, something like that. Just security conscious. It's also a good idea to put up security cameras and things like that. That's a general rule, but you don't have to. But security cameras help you in the long term, especially if you've got a lot of expensive equipment, or if you have investment or a safe or something like that, or just general stuff. Just being security conscious, not just security conscious, but also smart. Against cyber attacks, mobile antivirus, normal antivirus, routers and firewalls that have decent firewalls. Sorry, routers that have decent firewalls. Sorry, correct me. Routers that have decent firewalls per se. I've already mentioned that. Hold on a second. Modems that have a relatively decent firewall, or some type of routing function with NAT protection, or NAT firewall basically. Be cautious of open firmwares, but then also at the same time you can get some interesting open firmwares as well. Basically, just like there's nothing wrong with doing your own customizations to things. I'd just be wary that sometimes by customizing something you make it a little less unsecure than it's meant to be. What else? Internet connections, things that can interfere with your internet connections. Power requirements. I don't know. Like this, I don't know. I have come across it a couple of times with things that can interfere with your internet connections, like your cordless phones, or certain types of cordless phones that are not Wi-Fi friendly, older types, and some of the newer types. Not all. There's a few brands out there, but I'll have to do some research into it myself and find exactly which brands they are. But I will mention them at some point. I don't know. I'll probably cover that, as well as look at maybe the NSA, the CIA. NSA, FBI, CIA, all these government departments. They're trying to protect us. At the same time, you've got to be able to protect yourself, in the sense of protecting your privacy as a private citizen. Everybody has the right to privacy, and everybody has the right to say, well, I don't want everything monitored. But saying that, I can understand from the perspective of the government at the same time that they want people to know if there's any threats, immediate threats, child pornography, combinations of other stuff like that. Child pornography, criminal activity, certain types of criminal activity, money laundering. Just general things that the criminal entities would expect you to, or expect to be doing. And terrorist acts. We don't want people getting blown up. But at the same time, you should be able to protect your data as a private citizen, and you shouldn't feel like you constantly have to monitor things to have that privacy. You should just have that privacy automatically. There's certain bits of software, the firewalls and everything else that you can get out there. As I said, Zone Alarm's one of my key pieces of software that I love, especially for a lot of privacy concerns and generally hacker concerns, or hackers getting into your stuff. So look, just covering that type of stuff, basically. It will be a certain degree. I'll try to include some links. I'll probably include some stuff that links to different software that you can try. There's heaps of antivirus outside. There's heaps of antivirus software out there that's pretty reliable in the sense of advanced behavior monitoring of the new advanced malware and everything else. And apparently, interesting little thing that I didn't realise, but I was looking on the Malwarebytes website yesterday. Not website. It was listed on my Facebook because I have them as a favorited company. I was on Malwarebytes. We were talking about malware that actually opens up prison doors or opens and unlocks doors in computer systems, which it was inside a prison, of course, and yeah, pretty much. It's interesting. Even if a system is isolated from every other system, it's possible to jack into it with some type of wireless device or device which can actually wirelessly hack into it. Most people don't realize also that it's possible to hack into Android mobile phones and you know activate remotely your mic and things like that, so they can hear what people are talking about. You know, just common surveillance laws. You know, illegally of course, but I mean at the same time, I think the FBI and the NSA and the CIA are sort of trying to use those things a bit more now. But at the same time, you got to be able to secure yourself. So the best thing you can do is put antivirus. Make sure you put antivirus on your computer or on your smartphone. And I had to say, it's more essential these days. You have to put it on your computer. You have to put antivirus and firewalls on your computer. You have to put antivirus and combination of antivirus firewalls on your smartphone. It's just essential because especially if you're doing banking. If you're doing online banking and you're doing online banking from mobile locations, especially on a mobile, if you're doing online banking on your mobile device, it is essential to have antivirus of some type on there to protect you from nasties. Not just nasties, but stuff that can purely steal passwords, steal credit card numbers, you name it. It can steal a lot of things. There's also forced pairing state. I mean, there's heaps of applications out there, especially in the malware community, that can be used to totally circumvent a lot of the stuff. But saying that, there's always preventative measures, and you can be as safe as you possibly can by choosing the right antivirus for your mobile device or for your tablet, for example, and just choosing the right type of stuff for your device. I mean, it's pretty much a case of, okay, hold on a second, I want to choose the right antivirus, I want it on my computer, I want a firewall, I want all the protection I need. Now, I mean, you've got the actual protection of your internet ISP's firewalls, but I reckon there's always the extra protection of having a desktop firewall, as well as a firewall on your router, a firewall possibly on your modem as well. Basic firewall, doesn't have to be anything fancy, but you've got basic firewall on your router. Basic firewall on your router. No, sorry. Advanced firewall on your router, and basic firewall on your modem. Now, you can have two separate devices. Me personally, I have two separate devices. I have a device which I have a modem, which does my processing of the data coming in, and it has a firewall and other firewall functions and things of that nature built into it. I also have a firewall, advanced firewall, and a router which has even more advanced settings and more things you can adjust and fiddle with, basically, and just tweak to your needs. Basically, I have it going through two devices because in my mind, it's more secure. You're being more security conscious. You're less likely people are going to get to you for your defences and going to fuck up your computers on your network, basically. And it's less likely you're going to have a lot of problems, unless somebody actually hacks into your network via wireless or via local wireless. This is another thing I should also recommend to people as well. If you've got a local area network, or if you've got a local wireless network, change your password on a regular basis. Rotate it every, say, minimum 2 months, every 2 months, right? Minimum 2 months, and say we'll rotate it every, if you really want to be stringent, rotate it every 2 weeks, right? So every 2 weeks. No. Every month. Okay, we'll say 2 months at the least, and every month at the end of it. Like basically every month you should rotate your wireless password. It's just, I don't know, common practice for me. I do it all the time, and I'm the only one who's got control over the network, and I'm the only one who adjusts all the network. I have to adjust all the passwords on the network passwords on the computers, but it doesn't bother me in the least. But I like to rotate things regularly because I mean I'm just I admit I'm a bit paranoid that way, but it's better than having your network breaking into and you getting a fluctuation of data or your connection being used for illegal activity. Try to rotate your online passwords too as regularly as possible as well. Even if you have passwords for a while, just try to rotate them. Also, there's nothing wrong with linking your password options to your mobile phone for certain online websites, because sometimes it's better that way in the long term, because if you do, you're less likely to get hacked, because it'll alert you if there's anybody has tried to hack it or try to hack into the system, basically. Regularly change passwords. Be cautious of entering PIN numbers at public places. I mean, you don't have to be totally stringent. I mean, most people will not necessarily take note of your PIN number all the time, but there has been situations where that's, people have got the PIN number and then they've, copied the card with a skimmer. That does happen at restaurants, and that does happen at some public places. It doesn't happen at all public places, but just be wary of your surroundings and people, as I say. Be wary of ATMs being hacked, because it is possible to get an ATM hacked, but you normally have to have a manufacturer key to do it. The manufacturer key is required just to basically open it up and get inside the electronics and rewire everything on the inside of it. Also, gas station credit card readers. It's also possible to have information swiped off those as well. So be wary of those. A lot of the skimmers these days are getting smarter. They're getting more compact, and they're getting not so easy to spot anymore. Also, fake pads. Fake pads on on an ATM. That's another note. Skimmers can be as thin as going in, like, especially when you put your card on, insert your card in the slot and read the information that way. Those can be as thin, but I mean, normally somebody has to be working on the ATM, or you'll know that. I mean, you can probably even find a list of ATMs that might have that type of information skimmed off on them, or not skimmed, but those type of ATMs you might be able to find on a list of ATMs that are regularly either hacked into, or people, criminals target them for a specific reason. What else? What's that? I mean, you should also be aware that wireless signals from your phone can be picked up, so in some cases. Not all phones will, but some can be. It pays no mind to just, as I said, just be cautious. Just be cautious of anything that's unusual in your neighbourhood as well. Be wary of things. Pay attention to what people do, and if anything out of the ordinary changes in your neighbourhood from the usual people coming and going and the usual things happening. As I said, it's good to be smart about these things and not stupid, and aware of what's going on in the world. At the same time, try not to worry about it too much either. I mean, I don't know, I have my moments where I probably worry about things too much, but not in particular that, but just generally worry about things regardless. What else? Aside from that, just changing passwords regularly, rotating passwords regularly. PIN numbers, on the other hand, you can't really rotate those regularly, but if you feel your PIN has been compromised, also keep a regular check on your bank statements to see if there are any irregular amounts or any companies that name on your specific statement, or bank statement, or credit card statement, or debit card statement, to see if there's anything that's out of the ordinary from the charges that you normally have on your accounts. This way you know, and you can do a chargeback automatically from the bank, or you can inform the bank, and they will. Most banks, not all banks, but most banks will cover you for the amount that you've lost in some cases. It also pays when you're shopping online as well to use a debit card. A debit card is better than, say, using a credit card, because a credit card is less likely. A credit card is more likely to be not hacked, but it's more likely to be overdrawn, or it's more likely to diddle you out of a shitload of money because you've got a credit card, basically. It's better to have a debit card. Debit card, you can limit the amount. It's only the amount that's in your account that you're going to lose, and unless you have a substantial amount. You should also have at least 2 separate accounts, one for internet banking, one for basically one for internet banking and one for your normal everyday banking. everyday account. I don't know. I mean, personally, if you're going to split it up into margins, I'd say internet banking, things like that, interaction of online stuff and everything else, or business account. I mean, it's the same thing when you change over a business account. I mean, pretty much the same rules anyway apply. And it's pretty much, I mean, most people consider it common sense, but not a lot of people think about this stuff, especially when they're switching things around and doing online transactions a lot. The thing that the things that I've learned and the things I've come across is that be cautious, wary of what information you're giving out online too, especially over chat channels, things of that nature. Aside from being that cautious as well, pay attention to a seller's feedback on eBay. If you're doing eBay transactions, always check the seller's feedback. Always be wary of sellers that are giving certain prices when they're giving a price sometimes that may be too good to be true, and they have like a 0 feedback rating or not a very high, but just like 1 or 2 comments or whatever. Yeah, but I mean that's the general rule I cover. Also be aware of international texts as well, or getting international texts, as well as international texts. Be wary of lotto scams that you can get through the mail as well. Be wary of lotto scams. Okay, your lotto scams, mail scams. There's at least like 10 different dozen of them that can get you done over. And then of course there's just losing money simply because you didn't use PayPal. And to be honest, if you're gonna do an online transaction, PayPal is your safest bet. PayPal can be linked to your bank account, and it can also be linked. It can also be linked to your credit card as well, or debit card for that matter. And the thing is, PayPal is a much safer option in the long run. It goes for so many more secure servers and has many more layers of protection. PayPal's a safer option. Western Union is okay, but Western Union is only if you need to send money to overseas or to overseas relatives and things like that, and things of that nature. I wouldn't recommend it all the time, but you can use it. But I wouldn't use it for PayPal. I wouldn't use it for eBay. What else? PayPal, credit card transactions. Be wary, just as a general rule, be wary of your statements, be wary of your phone bills, be wary of your bills, and monitor your usages of different things, because it's surprising how often something can get past someone if they're not paying attention to what's going into that bill or something specific on it. So the best thing, those are the best security tips I can honestly give you. Aside from that, yeah, as I said, just precautionary tales. Yeah, and just, as I said, precautionary tales, notes to think in your head and take down to yourself. And yeah, so easy, simple. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna leave that there, YouTube, for the time being. Thank you very much.